All right, welcome everybody. Welcome. We are the Invincible podcast, and today we are trying out the Invincible role-playing game. Successfully funded over on Kickstarter, possibly still going. If not, it's successful. So we're looking forward to playing more of this in the future. But for now, this is our very first time not only playing this, but playing any tabletop role-playing game. And we are like so lucky to have the writer and creative narrative director, Adam Bradford, who is responsible for this game, to GM us on our very first go through.
Yeah, it is a pleasure to be here, and I apologize for the glare on my glasses. Unfortunately, we went with a light mode on this PDF, and I've got to have the rules in front of me here. But yeah, we're gonna get started. I love introducing people to this hobby and these kinds of games, and I'm excited to bring the crew here through the introduction adventure. And really it's less an adventure and more of just the first act of an adventure that we have currently available in the quick start for Invincible superhero role playing. And you can download that quick start. It's in PDF format. You can check out the game if you're curious about how it works and all of those things. We'll make sure to get links somewhere, I'm sure, for all of that. And definitely back that Kickstarter, because we're trying to unlock as many stretch goals as we possibly can, because we've got some really, really great stuff in store. All right, so everybody has already decided which characters you're going to play. And so we've got the names on everybody. So hopefully I won't forget who. Obviously, TJ is playing Rexplode, of course.
Did I go online and purchase red and yellow dice specifically for Rexplode? Yes, I did.
I mean, how did you even have time for that? Are you in like one of these Amazon 1 hour delivery cities?
You got it, buddy.
Wow.
2-day shipping.
Amazing. Yes. So of course, he is Rexplode. But yeah, we have these pre-generated characters in the quick start. So right now it's just a glimpse of the game. The full game is going to have over 60 fully statted out character profiles for all these characters. I mean, I was working on that even a little bit
Bill,
earlier
right
today.
now, name 60 Invincible characters.
Yeah, I could, because I've been working on them. I could name probably 100, to be honest.
Unreal. That's awesome.
I was just working on Angstrom Levy.
I was gonna say, we know from the stretch goal though, Wolfman and Tech Jacket.
Yes, we've got exciting. It's not just those two. We've got other expanded universe characters in there too. There might be one of my personal favorites. He's not a good tiger. He is a best tiger. So yes, looking forward to all of those characters. But we have a handful of these characters that are statted out as part of the quick start, and these are the pre-generated characters that everyone is playing. And so we're going to kind of get going here. As I told them in our earlier segment, this is structured make-believe. And so I'm going to present some scenes to them and kind of unfold to set the stage here. And then they are going to decide what their characters do. And then anytime that something that comes up that is going to matter happens, then I'm going to prompt them to roll dice to see if they're successful. And they're characters that have these statistics. So they have attributes and powers and talents and all of these, some of them have drawbacks. So, it's a little bit of a drawback to transform into a monster form and then get younger every time that you do that, right? So, it's like those are the kind of things that the game is capturing. So as those statistics, are available for them, when they roll, the statistics tell them how many dice they roll. And so everybody, you saw TJ's Rex, themed dice, but all of those dice, you've got all these 6-sided dice, and everybody is going to roll these big handfuls of dice. And in this game, what you are looking for is successes. Now, when we deliver the full launch of the game, you're going to have these awesome dice that have symbols on them that are going to tell you immediately that a 6 is a success, because it's going to have a nice Invincible eye logo on it. And it's going to tell you that, hey, a 1 is not all that good, because it's going to have the symbol of the Viltrum Empire on the on that number 1 there, right? And so with that, we're going to have to do a little bit of parsing here. But you're looking for 6s, you don't like 1s, is ultimately what you're getting at here. And the way it works is unless you are making an opposed roll against another character or creature. So, for instance, if you're wrestling with each other and trying to grapple one another, you would make opposed rolls at that point, and then whoever rolled the most successes would win that opposed roll. But typically, if you're rolling, you're picking up that handful of dice, you're rolling, and if you get a single success, then that means you succeeded at whatever you were trying to do. So if you roll no successes, that means something went wrong. It did not go your way, and then I will help you narrate, the consequences of that and what ends up happening.
Man, get ready, Ryan. Ryan is terrible at rolling dice.
Oh, this
terrible.
is good.
Critical miss, critical miss, critical miss.
It is great to know that ahead of time. I cannot wait for this. All right. Any questions before we jump in? Because the best way to learn is just to get right into it.
Let's fucking go, bro.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. You are all superheroes that are relatively new on the scene. You haven't been around for too long, but you're answering a call from the Global Defense Agency, secret organization that safeguards the world and, very importantly, monitors superpowered activity across the world from the shadows. So you're answering a call to come to their secret underground headquarters. You haven't spent much time there to this point, even though most of you, well, all of you, we've got Bulletproof is also in the starter set that's not being represented here today. But so Bulletproof had not. But most of you have had some contact with the GDA to this point, but you haven't spent much time in that under the Pentagon secret headquarters that they have until today. And you're answering the call of Cecil Stedman, the elusive director of the GDA, because he says that the world needs your help in light of the catastrophic destruction caused by the recent battle with two of the world's most powerful superheroes, Omni-Man and Invincible. So this is happening in the couple of weeks following what we call in the game the Omni-Man incident, right? So the Omni-Man incident is has happened, and this is where we are in the timeline. After passing through the intense security of the building, so again, it's under the Pentagon, so you got to go through all the Pentagon stuff, and then you got the secret under stuff that you got to go through, and then you go through, I'm sure metal detector, all the things. So you're going through all this ridiculous security. You find yourself escorted to a spacious room that has a large screen that takes up an entire wall and lecture hall seating, and Donald Sutherland, the right-hand man for Cecil Stedman, is just wrapping up a presentation, a slide deck, about the liability forms that you all need to sign before you take part in what is going on next. And so as he is doing that, you kind of look around the room, you spot familiar faces. So all of you either worked together as part of the recently dissolved team, or in Monster Girl's case, you met everyone while you were at tryouts for the new Guardians of the Globe roster after that original team was brutally murdered by Omni-Man before he left Earth. So you do know each other. And Donald, as he finishes that presentation, hands you all earpieces that provide two-way communication amongst yourselves, but also with the GDA. And then he mutters something under his breath about not losing them because they cost a great deal. And then he tells you to hold tight, that Director Stedman will be with you shortly. So now at this point, we're going to go around to everyone here. And I want you to just tell everyone who you're playing. They can read, but tell them who you're playing, and just describe the character that you're playing, and maybe what they are currently doing as they have just wrapped up signing these liability release forms. We'll start with you, Ryan.
All right. I am Amanda, also known as Monster Girl. I was dating a guy over in Europe, and turns out his grandmother was not too fond of me. And so she put this curse on me. So now I can turn into this troll-like creature. But the thing is, every time I do it, I get a little bit younger and the monster gets a little bit bigger and stronger. Uh, the thing is, I can't not help people when I see somebody in danger. So I put myself in harm's way, and it's still worth it to make these to go through these changes because, not only am I doing the right thing, but it kind of takes my mind off the fact that I'll be in a booster seat pretty soon. So I'm sitting here filling out this paperwork and wondering what my height actually is, because I might look like 12 years old, but on any given day I could be 8 feet tall instead. Yeah.
And then at that, I feel like Rexplode may even come look over your shoulder as he's already just barely even filled out the form, and just really quickly signed it. What is Rexplode doing? What kind of insult does he have prepared for Monster Girl as he sees the height that she wrote down?
I was. Oh, no, I don't see. I'm already bad at this.
You're a-okay. You're a-okay. So at this, you just guffaw and say something like "all sweet," I imagine. And then what else is Rexplode doing here? And what does he look like, and how does he carry himself?
He's very arrogant. You're a very arrogant human being. He's probably going around and sending jabs at every person that's writing down their information, I would imagine.
Yeah. So he's probably got, jabs at height for everyone, knowing Rex. And so Rex, restlessly, kind of pacing around the room, wondering what's taking Cecil so long. And then Bill, what is Adam Eve doing? She probably, seeing Rex's behavior and being in such close proximity, probably recoils a bit. But what would you say she's doing?
Adam Eve is she wants to be the best in class right now. She has a lot to prove to herself, that like, or I have a lot to prove to myself that I'm supposed to be here. I want to use my powers, that, I was a test subject, so I have a lot to prove, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and I have to prove to my dad that I'm doing the right thing. So I would probably nudge Rex into, leaving everybody alone and to take this seriously, because this is a serious thing, and we're all heroes, and we're all here to do good.
What happened? I thought you didn't want to be a part of the team.
Well, I mean, Cecil Stedman called me, and it's to do good. So that's ultimately what I'm here to do. Whether
even though Rex is here.
I mean, fuck Rex. Like, he hurt me, but he's just one more guy that I got to prove wrong.
Absolutely. And then Robot is probably has completed the form electronically in the cloud somewhere and already submitted it before Donald even gave it to him. But Robot is just coming out of another gripe session that Donald had with him just before this, that new Guardians team just isn't really making the cut, that their response times aren't quite good enough yet, and that the leadership has to start pulling things together. What's Robot doing?
So yeah, Robot, I sort of assumed all of the questions that they would need me to fill out, had them electronically filled out and sent in already. So I'm just kind of watching everyone fill out their forms. I'm watching Rex and Eve kind of like look at each other and start to argue, and Amanda kind of egging them on. And I'm just kind of frustrated and embarrassed that like we're supposed to be the new Guardians, and I just want everybody to take this a little more seriously, because the world is depending on us now, guys. Like let's act like we belong here, please.
As these thoughts are kind of echoing in your mind, all of you see a bright flash of white light, and you hear just a very brief crackle, And all of a sudden, Cecil Stedman is standing in the room. You hear Donald under his breath mutter something along the lines of, you hear the words, just on the other side of the building. It costs so much every time you do it. And he teleports right in front of you. And without missing a beat, he does not have exchange pleasantries, doesn't say hello or anything, and just jumps right into the briefing. And he says, "Thanks for coming. I'll get right to the point. The Omni-Man's rampage and the original Guardians being dead. The world's running short on heroes. Robot is getting the new Guardians team off the ground. Monster Girl and Rexplode are here too. The rest of the team is tied up with another mission. So that's where you come in, Adam Eve. I just left a situation report that needs immediate attention. 2 weeks ago, the Mauler twins were somehow sprung again from Stronghold. Those of you who haven't tangled with them before, Maulers aren't actually twins. They're a long series of clones. Neither of them knows which one is the original. They're a big enough physical threat, but they're even more dangerous because of how smart they are. We just got word they set up shop in an old warehouse on the outskirts of the city. I need you to go check it out and report back on what you find. Thanks again for the help. Now, go be heroes." And then without a goodbye, without leaving time for questions or commentary, you see another bright flash of light. Cecil is no longer in the room, if not the building. He is teleported away again. At this point, you see Donald is, kind of collecting all of the papers. It looks like he's about to say something to Robot about missing your form, but then he kind of just shakes his head and files everything away. He says, "All right, feel free to do any planning, but we've got your ride ready to go if you're ready to go."
Shotgun.
I mean, I'm just ready to fly out, and I can carry anybody who wants me to take them. So otherwise, I think that we should just.
I can go with Adam Eve. I kind of wanted to get her alone to talk things out, anyways.
Hey, you
Rex,
offered.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea. I don't know if the two of you would make it there. On time.
Rex, what's the ride that's available to everybody else?
Well, we actually have very recently employed a new line of cutting edge technology hovercrafts. So we can carry everyone comfortably. We've been wanting to kind of test them out anyway. So you're more than welcome to conserve your energy and ride in the hovercraft if you would prefer.
I think it's best that we stick together. Yeah.
So as you are getting escorted through the labyrinth of hallways in the GDA headquarters, you're going down and down and down until eventually you come to a very large door that slides open with a hiss, and you are in some type of hangar bay, and you see a variety of equipment and vehicles in this hangar bay, but you do see that roaring to life, there is a probably about as big as 3 or 4 vans, this contraption that is just barely hovering off the ground at this point. It's got an extended ladder staircase that you can pretty easily board the craft. You come inside, you see that there's a GDA pilot that's giving you a thumbs up and looks way too happy to be there. And he is ready to perform this, field test essentially with this new GDA tech.
I mean, I'm still a little leery. I could just fly there and be there probably a lot faster than a test subject. But Robot, I mean, you if you want us to go on this thing, did you check it out, Robot? Does it?
I mean, it's rudimentary, I think, compared to what I could build if I had the same resources and budget as Cecil.
Your Sky Cycle is in the shop. Yeah.
Mine's in the shop. This will do just fine. We can strategize on the way there if we're all together. I know you don't want to be next to Rex. You don't have to sit next to him. I will sit next to Rex.
I'm just eager to get going.
What the hell, Robot? You're putting me in a cage here. I don't appreciate it.
Listen, we should all try to get along. Let's just, let's not stir things up on the way to the mission. Okay.
All right. So you board the craft. Adam Eve, you're welcome to fly alongside if you prefer.
I'm a team player. Let's just get it over with.
All right. So you get in the hovercraft. It continues to kind of crackle with energy. It raises up. You see bigger doors. It's an absolutely absurd just maze of corridors. It's got to fly between. It's almost like the guy's having to play a video game to get up out from under the Pentagon. And then they go up into the skies. You start flying across the city. What's the city's name? No one knows. And so as you are flying across the city, you're going across the skyscrapers, gleaming in the afternoon sunlight. The sun is starting to set. You're getting nearer and nearer to the warehouse. It actually takes longer than you thought it might. Or is there any discussion that you all want to have on your way in the hovercraft?
How was your recent visit to the dentist, Rex? Did you get those teeth replaced that I knocked out?
It's fucked up. I'm just gonna focus on what I'm doing, and you focus on what you're doing. And hey, welcome to the team. And we'll see how you do. You haven't proven yourself yet.
I'm just messing with you. Get your panties in a bunch.
Don't worry about my panties.
And then the pilot just kind of turns around and says, "You wear panties?" And then he immediately knows he probably made a mistake and turns back around and goes back to flying. All right. Anything else?
Do we need to like discuss how we're going to approach this when we get to this warehouse? Like, do we have a plan of attack? Are we just showing up to survey the area?
Is there anything that you know that we don't? Do you have access to any information? As
I was given the same briefing as you, Amanda. I'm not sure what you would imply about me knowing more about the Maulers.
You could certainly, so Robot, you could attempt to potentially, bypass some security and various, city planning organizations to see if you could find a floor plan of this warehouse when it was originally built. Now, it might not be up to date, but you could definitely try to do that.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Right. So why don't you make a reason roll? So you're going to take whatever the reason number is. I believe for Robot, that is a 9.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, it is.
He's a pretty smart guy. All right, so roll those 9 and then tell me if you got any 6s.
I got 2 6s.
Okay, so just for everyone's benefit here, that means you're successful. You're going to find something here, but you also have more than one success. And with those extra successes, you can do things in the game called stunts. So sometimes that's going to be pretty clearly defined. So if you're attacking someone and you have extra successes, you can use stunts to do things like initiate a grapple, to disarm someone, to possibly knock them back, a lot of do extra damage. So there are a variety of effects that stunts can have that are pretty clearly defined there. Otherwise, you either can use stunts to perform something more quickly. If it's a task like you're currently doing, you can find out extra information than you ordinarily would get with a success. And I can help you interpret that. As a player, if you ever have ideas about what you think you might like, the extra success to mean, you can absolutely, bring that up. And sometimes the GM needs to pull you back from something completely outlandish. But if you have ideas, you can do that. Or, I can say, hey, with that extra success, you also find out, X. So we can play that either way. So do you have any ideas?
So the initial one was like search for like the floor plans of like what it looked like, right? And then can I search into like the GDA files about like what types of equipment or weapons the maulers have been using recently?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a great use for the stunt there. And so, yeah, you pretty easily are able to grab the floor plan. And so, we can maybe, Ryan, I don't know if we can show the map at some point. Yeah, perfect. So you see a floor plan. Now, that is that floor plan. You don't see in the floor plan the secret cloning apparatus that's in the middle there, because we're going to get to that in a second. But you do see the rest of the floor plan there. And then you do see that the maulers, of course, you are already fairly, that they are cloning experts. But then also you do see that some of the stuff that they've been using lately has been neurotoxin related, like that is trending to become something that they really enjoy to use. And that they have been getting more and more into the ability to just make weaponry, and that's something that they've always done in the past, but they've been really, really stocking up on the arsenal lately. So that's what you uncover on the latest field reports about the maulers on the GDA database, and some of that you had to edge into places you're not really technically allowed to get.
Gotcha. So we should be careful as we go in, and maybe like have some defensive capabilities up front. Adam Eve, be ready to, put up some walls, some shields. Monster Girl, you're probably, I would assume, tough enough to take a couple of hits from whatever they've got. Rex, maybe stay behind somebody.
Yeah. Screw that. I can go in alone. I'll take care of it.
I mean, I can create barriers to block off the building entirely, maybe cut power supply. I don't know if that's something that we kind of want to do and make sure that we have a leg up. I mean, it'd be dark in there, but if we cut the power, I don't know if that's going to change anything.
So as you're talking, the hovercraft, actually you eventually realize that it's slowing down a bit. The pilot turns around and says, all right, we finally made it here. It's definitely, the sun has fully set at this point in time. It is nighttime. As you look out of the windows of the hovercraft, you do see that everything is very dimly lit in this part of the city, because all of the street lamps have been long ago blown out and no one has ever repaired them. This is definitely a rough part of town. And you see that the warehouse just kind of diagonally beneath you, just a little ways. Most of you could just kind of leap out of the hovercraft onto the roof of the place if you wanted to. But ultimately with that, it's a pretty unremarkable rectangle of a building, just like you would assume that a warehouse would be. And you do see that outside in the parking lot, there are some vehicles that look like they've been abandoned. Some of them don't even have tires on them at the moment. They probably don't work. But you also see that there is a large, warehouse kind of garage scrolling door that is in place. And then it does have windows, but the windows are boarded up and painted over where really you can't see much of anything. It's got a pretty tattered metal roof on top. And the only thing that you can see at the moment is just a faint light coming out of the top of the roof. In the southeastern corner of the roof, there appears to be some kind of hole. It looks like maybe something has fallen on the roof there and someone has bent it back. But it is pretty wide, so it's 8 feet wide. There's a hole there, and you see some faint light coming out of it, but otherwise the entire warehouse looks like it is devoid of any activity. What do you do?
It's a good idea, Eve, but something tells me that they don't need to be powered by the grid. I don't know if anything in this area has been on the grid lately. That maybe that's why they're here.
I don't know if we should go in that hole. I mean, that seems kind of obvious. I think that if it's in the southeast corner, that we should probably go to the northwest, and I'd be able to very quietly just, display the atoms and create our own entrance that's maybe a little bit quieter away.
I mean, it's just
So
the
do we wanna be
maulers, right? Can't we just blast in there and take care of them?
I think we should
It's 2 versus 4. We could take them.
We should still be discreet, Rex.
They clone. That's literally what they do. How do you know there's 2 of them?
We don't know anything other than the layout of the building and that they've got a ton of weapons in there. So maybe we should be discreet.
But if we got
And-
high up enough, we may be able to look in the hole. I'm not saying we go in the hole. Maybe just look
Again,
at
we can go somewhere where there isn't light, where we know they aren't, and try to get a
create
leg
an
up.
entrance.
Yeah.
Robot, what do you think?
I like a more stealth approach. I'm sorry, Rex. I don't think just blasting the front door in is the best option. Maybe I could fly over the hole to see if there's anything I could see before we decide which like wall to breach. Is that something that we can do?
I think that's fair. I'll be stationed over on the northwest corner, ready to
And I can
Create an
also
entrance.
take the northwest corner.
Rex. We're at work. That ship has sailed.
I'm just trying to be a good teammate.
So, Robot, you edge out of the hovercraft. You hover over. At the moment, you don't see any activity going on there. You see that, ultimately for that hole, that it really does look like somebody just genuinely like ripped it with their bare hands. Like it doesn't look like it's artificially or like manufactured, I guess is the word I'm looking for there. And but you can see down into it that faint light looks like it's coming from computer monitors. You can't see the monitors; they're facing away from you to the north of the building. But you can definitely see that there's computer equipment. It looks like the light's coming from computer monitors. You also see this just kind of faintly through refractions in glass from a massive thing that now you see here on this map here. Some kind of apparatus is just completely just jammed down into the middle of this warehouse, and honestly it's taking up a great deal of the warehouse. It looks like it's not necessarily crowded in there, but it certainly is more tight in there than you would expect, because this machinery of some sort is taking most of the space in the central area of the warehouse.
Okay, so I think that our best like tactic would be to break whatever this big machinery thing is right off the bat. So if we go in quickly, Rex, you're good at blowing stuff up and breaking things. Maybe you could toss some boomsticks, blow this thing up, just in case if we show up and this is some sort of weapon or some sort of way for them to make another clone of themselves. We should disable this first before going after them all.
I do
Finally, something to explode.
I do agree. I think that whatever that is, we should probably disable it. I have the ability to just lift it right out of the building if you wanted to do that instead. Also, I think maybe are we dealing with something that's not just the maulers here? Because the maulers,
It kind of looks like something left in a hurry through the roof.
True, possibly.
So it might not even be here anymore. We might be walking into an empty building.
That's true. I still like the idea of disabling whatever we find in here as quickly as possible when we come in.
Okay,
let's do it.
All right. How are you trying to go in?
Eve, you mentioned being able to like just rearrange the atoms on the wall. Do you think you can make an opening for Rex to chuck some things in there?
Yeah, I think that we can make it a little bit more discreet. Go on, a different. Obviously, this thing is taking up almost this entire building, so maybe we'll take it from a side that's not all lit up. So I can open up that portal, open up the roof a little bit.
The roof, so we're dropping it, or somewhere on the floor?
Or the side.
On the side?
Yeah, side.
Okay, so the side of the building. Which side?
So the hole is on the southeast, so I think we should
Yes.
do the complete opposite. I think that we should do the northwest wall.
Okay. And so, per the floor plan that Robot has shared with you, you do know that northwestern part. Now, again, just to clarify, are you talking about coming from the roof or from the wall on the street level?
So there's a door right there. What do you guys think? Do you think that we should go through the ceiling? Do you think that we can come through the floor? Do you think that I think that we need to be like, we shouldn't do what they're expecting.
And there's
I don't
already
think
a hole in
I
the
don't think
ceiling,
they
right?
I don't think they'd expect any part of the wall to materialize into nothing.
Yeah.
So I think they won't be expecting it at all.
Okay. So let's
So
just do the northernmost wall by that
Okay.
by that exit door.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even notice there was that exit door there. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. And so does anyone want to do the classic, like, you're about to make your own door in the wall beside it and just want to check the door to see if it's locked? Like, no. But if anybody did that, it is locked. So the door's locked there. And so okay, just where I make sure I understand the plan. You are currently making your own doorway by completely dissolving the atoms into air or whatever, of the wall there to make an opening. Is there any follow-up activity of that, or are you just trying to make the door for now?
I think I'm throwing a boomstick to disable.
And
I think
I'll
it
probably
should
rush
be
in depending on Rex's aim, as long as he promises not to hit me.
I think it should be pretty quick. Yeah, I think as I open it up, Rex, you should be ready. We have the floor plan to throw everything you got at whatever the hell that thing is in the middle of the room.
And I'm still hovering over the hole in the ceiling, like ready to
Okay.
rush in if we need to.
So you're on the southeast corner. Is everyone else up north?
Yep.
On that wall? Okay. And so you're going to open this door, your makeshift door. Rex, you're immediately going to basically try to attack and blow up this apparatus that's in the center of this warehouse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got it. So all right, so you absolutely can do that. You want to describe how Adam Eve does that? She's doing it with a transformation power.
Yep. That's right. Do I need to roll something to see if I'm...
You don't for transformation, actually, because, and that is the thing in the game, is there are powers that just work. And
okay,
you
I
just,
see here.
and you just narrate, what's happening. So for Atom Eve, she has, obviously, she's a very powerful character, has a lot of different kinds of abilities, but she can control matter, which means essentially that she can move matter in any way that she might want to, right? So that's the controlling of matter. But then transformation itself allows her to do things like, hardening the air around her to make her pink, weaponry and, different things like that she does. And so in this case, transformation could absolutely, make a doorway, because this is just old ancient brick. It's been there for many, many years. Very easy for her to make a doorway. How large are you wanting to make this? Because she can ultimately do up to, I believe the transformation power, without you pushing yourself a little bit, can do about 600 pounds of stuff. So
why don't we do this instead, guys? Why don't we I can create a opening there, but in using the matter, I can also create walls that are leading right towards that big tube, creating almost a hallway for us without anything on the sides being able to attack us. Is that possible?
It seems like a lot.
You can do about 600 pounds of that. If you wanted to do more, you can do up to, I think, about a ton or two, which would be a pretty good bit of brick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that would cost you resolve. Okay, so your resolve is one of your resources that you can use to push yourself just a little bit, further than the standard use of your powers. So you absolutely can do it.
I think as long as you make a hole big enough for you and Rex and Amanda to get through, I think that's all we really need.
Okay, all right. Remember that, because I'm ready to. I would push myself to create a nice narrow hallway where there's
Brick
nothing
tunnel.
else that could get through a brick tunnel. But
your idea is noted, Eve.
Fine. All right. I'll just open up a wall and make that section of the wall disappear.
All right. So you see the pink energy extend from Adam Eve, and the bricks, start almost, matrixing for just a second, and then they eventually just kind of like, fade away. They have to fade away into something, because matter can't be lost. What are they turning into? Butterflies, or just air, or how do you want that to happen?
let's do a bunch of spoons. They turn into a bunch of spoons.
There is no spoon. So basically, as you do that, the bricks come away, and all of you, for some reason, see spoons just start falling where bricks used to be. There is now an opening. Rex, are you ready to do your action?
Yes. I'm gonna do a full action shooting attack.
Okay, so you are going to try to blast whatever this apparatus is. Explode first, ask questions later, and so with that, you're going to need to make an agility roll, and let's see how we do there. So Rex's agility is, I can't remember off the top of my head. What does it say on your character sheet?
My agility is 7.
Perfect. Grab 7 of those dice, and let's see if you get some successes.
And as I throw it in, I'm gonna make a quip by saying, "Have a spoonful of sugar."
That was good. So you said you weren't, you were already doing bad at this, but you're doing great.
I have 1 6
Okay,
out of 7 die.
that's how it rolls sometimes. All right, so and again, this is a great moment to call out that does not mean that Rex misses the apparatus with the boomstick, right? It's not that he whiffed on it or anything like that. He absolutely hit it. It just happens to be that he might have hit it at a place where it does, in this case, 1 point of damage because it was successful. But had he rolled 5 successes, then he might have hit it at a really critical place that could have done even more damage to the apparatus, right? So again, it's important, especially in this game, to note sometimes when people are playing other games in this kind of genre, they think of it in terms of hit or miss, and it's not really hit or miss, it's success or failure, right? And so and then there's degrees of success, right? And so in this case, you're successful, you hit it, the boomstick lands up against the apparatus, and you kind of almost for a second hear like a tink just before a boom, and the explosion rings out across the area. It does look like, as the smoke dissipates pretty quickly, it does look like it did next to nothing to this apparatus. It looks like whatever this apparatus is made out of is really, really strong stuff. But at this point in time, you also hear an this klaxon starts just blaring out of the warehouse, and all of you, including Robot on the southeastern corner hovering there, you see that out of the top of this apparatus that these kind of flat metal flaps lit up, and then out of the top of it they turn around. There are some kind of rifle turret, and it looks to be 4 of them have sprung out of the top of this apparatus, and they are training on you, Rex. Now at this point, we're going to draw initiative, right? So the way that this would typically work in this game is you would, we would be drawing cards, and then whoever has, if you get a 1, the 1 card, then that means you're going to go first. If you get the 10 card, it means you're going to go last, right? And everything in between. Since we're not playing, at the same table or on a virtual tabletop, so once we have the virtual tabletop full support, the card aspect of this will all work over a network. But since we don't have that, instead, to kind of speed things up here, I've just got a randomizer. So I've got all of your names in a thing, and we're essentially, I'm going to draw the cards for you, and I'll let you all know when everybody's going. So I just clicked the randomize button, and unfortunately, the turrets drew the 1. So the turrets are going first, and then after that, it's going to be Monster Girl. Good. After that, it is Rex. Then it's Robot. Adam Eve is bringing up the rear. Okay? All right, and I'll remind everybody as we go through. So first, it is the concussion turrets. And so, again, you see them train up. They are going to target you, Rex, because you're the one that are closest to them at the moment, and they're trying to do this. So they're going to roll to hit you here, and their agility is that. So 1 success. And so as this turret, turns around, it fires off a couple of shots. One of them, clips you, but that is going to do 4 damage to your health. 4
Question.
damage to your health. Yes.
At what point can I dodge?
That's great. I'm so glad you said that, because I was about to do like a Prince of Persia Sands of Time thing there a little bit, of like rewind just a little bit, because I was going to highlight that you absolutely are going to want to dodge, that kind of thing. So the way that works is you still, since we just started, round time, we just drew initiative. You have not taken a turn yet, so you still, for this turn, have both your quick action and your full action that you have not used, right? Because yes, you fired something off, but that was before we started being in initiative, right? Okay. So what you would do is, as I said that it targeted you there, and again, I was doing that intentionally, to say, hey, you need to catch me when I'm telling you that you're targeted, right? And so it's like, when you're targeted before I make that roll, you would say, hey, I'd like to try to dodge this, because you just have to do it before we know the result of my roll.
So I have to interrupt you.
If we
interrupt, and that's why it's called an interrupt action. Okay, so there are a couple of
actions.
If you still have actions, so if you don't have quick actions left, then you cannot perform an interrupt action. But since you do, you can. So we're actually going to redo that, because you were smart enough to call that out there. And so you're going to try to dodge this, right? And so the way that works is you're going to use your quick action. So that means that when your turn comes, you won't be able to use a quick action and a full action. You can only use one of those, right? But your quick action is about to be used here. You're going to do an opposed roll. So you're going to for dodge, it is agility. Dodge only works against the shooting attacks, so ranged attacks. It only works against that. Now, somebody actually called this out on the Kickstarter, that what about characters like Spider-Man or Agent Spider? We'll go with that. Agent Spider that can dodge in close combat attacks also. The game actually will have support for that. You can pick up talents that allow you to do that. But typically you'll have you'll be dodging the shooting attack. So you need to roll your agility, and then I'm going to roll the shooting attack again. And then we're going to see if you get as many or more successes as me. And then if so, it misses you.
So I'm rolling my agility. However, I have a talent for evasive. You get +2 die for agility rolls to dodge an attack.
Beautiful. You say you are literally a pro at this already. You're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. You're like a pro. So yes, you're gonna pick up, I think it was the 7 agility dice, but then you're gonna roll 9 while you're trying to dodge. So you got a really good chance at this.
All right, rolling.
All right, do it. I got 2 successes. What did you get?
I have 3 successes.
Okay, so that means you successfully, now if all you had to get was 2 in that case, but that means that you have successfully. So tell me how Rex does this. The turret comes up, pop, shoots off a couple of shots. What does Rex do to get out of the way?
He lets out a very large yelp, and then he does like a one-handed cartwheel to the right and dodges.
Perfect. And I saw that in comic book panel form. That's perfect. So that first turret does not hit you. As Rex kind of sidesteps that, just out of curiosity, would that be Adam Eve or Monster Girl close by there? I'm going to let y'all decide who you want to be. Did Adam Eve open the door and get out of the way, or is Adam Eve still standing there?
As Amanda, I would say I was probably in the back, because until I turn into Monster Girl, I hang back, because I'm a little girl.
Yeah,
just a little girl. Yep, that's it. All right, so Adam Eve is there, and so we're the next turret. Now I am going to say that the 4 turrets, the other 2 that came up out of the top, they don't have a firing angle at you very well here. So this is going to be the last turret that attacks for now. with you outside of the building anyway. So
Mhm.
this other one attacks, and it's going to attack Adam Eve. Do you want to do anything, Adam Eve?
Yeah, I think so. Did it get a shot off at me yet, or is it just aiming?
No,
yet.
it's about to.
It's
I'm
about to?
telling you that
So-
you're about to get attacked. Yeah.
So I think what I would do in this scenario is I would do a shooting attack, and try to destroy the turret.
Great. So you can't do a full action, which is what a shooting attack is, unless it is your turn. What you can do is an interrupt action. So interrupt action is the only thing that you can do when it is not your turn. And so in this case, Adam Eve has an interrupt action that she can do with the barrier power that can allow her to throw up a barrier. So she can put up a force field.
Then I would
Or-
absolutely do that.
Yes, I think you probably would. And so that is, y'all have gone right through in both the first attacks that we've done here and exactly how as a player you're going to want to think about those things, because if one of these turrets hits you, it's going to hurt. Like these are pretty serious threats. And so the interrupt action is a really, really good thing. Now for Monster Girl, you're not currently the troll-like monster, so it's a little problematic for you. But once you become that, you have really good protection, and so you can absorb some of these hits, right? But for Adam Eve and Rex, definitely would be bad if they got hit. That's one reason that Rex is so evasive, and we just saw that at play. So Adam Eve,
There's something on
is going to throw up a barrier, right? So yeah.
Is there something on the character sheet or the rules reference that lists interrupts, or are those specific per character?
There are a few interrupt actions that are general for everything. So in the quick start, it's going to talk about dodging. It's going to talk about blocking. So blocking is what you do if you're in slugfest combat. So up close, fighting somebody, you can block. You can dodge shooting attacks, but some powers, barrier being a great example here. Barrier is going to tell you that you can, activate that as an interrupt action if you want to. You don't have to use an interrupt action. You can do a quick action on your turn, but in this case, good idea to do the interrupt to give yourself some protection in case this hits you.
Okay. Yeah, let's put up a barrier with an armor of 3.
Perfect. All right, so that's going to happen, and okay, excellent. I had 2 successes. So that means that your barrier with that armor of 3, it holds. And basically, as those two they blast out those bolts, they smash into, you put up a pink bubble, and they smash into that, and you are completely unaffected at this point in time. That is all for the concussion turrets, because those other 2 are simply moving around. It looks like they might be motion activated to some degree, and they're kind of moving around looking for targets, but at the moment they're not aware of robot on the other side of the building, and they can't really reach the rest of you outside of the warehouse on the north side of the warehouse. So now it is going to be Monster Girl's turn.
Amanda is going to leap over Adam Eve and her bubble, mid-leap, transform, and land blocking and kind of shielding them from any upcoming attacks.
Excellent. And I can't quite remember. Is that all of your actions there, or do you still have actions left?
I believe the leap is going to end up being my quick, and the transform will be my full action.
Okay. Yep. That's
So
it.
I'll have nothing left.
Okay. So you're absolutely right. You leap above, interpose yourself in between the 2 of them, and then you transform. And how does that look?
It's magical. Like, it's just this blue glow happens mid-air, and then I land here, superhero pose, breaking the floor beneath me, and
knuckles down on the ground. Yep. Perfect.
Stand up right in front of them.
Yep. All right. And so now you have a big bit of cover that has now landed in front of all of you. Rex, it is now your turn.
Remember, watch your aim.
Yeah, I think I want to take out the turret.
Yeah, that seems like a great idea. They seem pretty dangerous. All right, so go ahead and make that shooting attack with agility again.
All right, so for agility, Okay, so I already did one quick action.
Yep.
So I would do a full action.
Yep, it's just your full action. Thankfully, you're still within range. You can easily, reach the turrets. The hole that Adam Eve made is large enough for you, so you're not blocked by anything. You can absolutely just make that full action attack.
I have a question though while we're
Yep.
learning. So the actions are a full action and a quick action, or 2 quick actions.
Mhm.
I have an ability that allows me to. It says you can make a shooting attack as a quick attack instead of a full action, but with 2 less dice. But why would I ever choose to do 2 quick actions
Because
to have 2 less dice?
Because if you retained your quick action, if you didn't have to dodge earlier, then that means you could actually make 2 attacks on your turn. Okay.
Shooting is only a full action.
Oh, I just got an ad. It popped me out for a second and I didn't see anybody, and some kind of ad popped up on my little card randomizer. So
we're here.
Sorry about that. I thought I lost you all. So with that though, so if you had not had to dodge earlier and it came up on your turn, then you could literally 2 boomsticks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just you
sense.
would use 2 less dice on each of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I will roll to take out the turret then.
All right, let's do it.
And this is, remind me here, agility. So
Yep.
I get 7 die.
That's it. And these turrets cannot move, so they can't block or dodge attacks.
1. Jeez,
Okay.
7 dice again. 1 6.
Oh.
Now, one thing that you can do, this is the next thing we're going to learn. So there is something in the game called pushing your roll. So this is just you digging down a little bit deeper. What ends up happening when you push your roll is it has the chance of costing you resolve when you do that, right? Now, did you roll any 1s on that?
No.
Okay, well that's actually good, because the way that pushing works is you are going to pick up, if you decide to push, you will pick up every die that does not have a 6 or a 1 on it. So that's all the rest of them there.
Yep.
And you would re-roll those, having a chance to have more 6s. But at the end of that second roll, however many 1s that you have, that is how much stress you take, and your resolve is reduced that amount. So right now you have, if you got lucky enough to not roll any 1s in that re-roll, then you would take, no stress. You got to take a minimum of 1. But it's like, with that, you can take some stress, but you have a chance of doing damage, because you can tell almost immediately that 1 is not going to do much against this, that you're not going to get it. So you absolutely can choose to push if you'd like to do so.
I'm a pusher.
Yeah, it seems like Rex would be.
Maybe try something more than pocket lint.
Quiet down back there in your.
You got any golf balls in there? Yeah.
All right.
All right, roll those other 6 or whatever it would be.
Oh no, it's not good, guys. It's not good. well, hold on. There is 1 1, but there are no other 6s.
Oh man, okay.
Oh.
So, all right, so you see, you hit the turret squarely, and it explodes, but you see that you just don't have enough juice. It looks like they have some kind of armor plating on them, and you need to mark down 1 stress. So your resolve score is reduced by 1 point at this stage. All right, and that is all of your actions. Robot, it is your turn.
Okay, so can I see the turrets from where I'm at above?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have to
Absolutely.
move or anything. So I have to decide if I want to attack it, or I know that I can do like the analysis, right? Where I gain insight into objects that I've studied for at least a few minutes, it says.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you that these rounds that we are currently in, they take, approximately 10 seconds. So that few minutes thing, if you're going to try to analyze these turrets, they might all be dead by the time you're
Got
done,
it. That makes sense.
analyzing them. Yeah.
Okay. So then I will do a charge attack, which I think it says strength for mine, which I have 5 for mine. So I roll 5,
that's it.
right?
All right, so you're just going to barrel in and try to hit one of the turrets. Are you going to hit one of the turrets closest to you, or trying to get one of them that are currentently firing on your teammates?
Or I was assuming charge attack was like charging it up. Can I do a like ranged attack? So that would be
yeah,
like
yeah. No. Charge is literally like, hey, I am charging. Rawr,
got it.
And I'm going to slam into you.
I'll do a shooting attack. I'll stay at my vantage.
I thought that was a little out of character, but I was like, hey, robot is smarter than all of us anyway. So
if that's a full action, should I be doing like a quick action first before I do that, or
it depends on if you want to move yourself, because I can tell you that currently from your vantage point, you could hit any of the turrets in that 8-foot hole that you have up there. But you do just kind of just through common sense believe that if you fire an attack at them, they're probably going to detect you at that point. They're probably going to start firing back at you. So you could theoretically, so to tell you, you could fire with your full action and then use a quick action to move out of the vantage point. Like you could move into cover after that if you decided to do so.
So I'll start by just doing the shooting attack, which is agility. So I roll 4 for robot. All
right. Big money. Come on.
And I have no 6s.
No 6s. No. So again, you blast off from your vantage point. You actually see that you kind of miss the turret. It hits the apparatus. You see that it doesn't do anything to the apparatus. That is made of some strong stuff. You can immediately see. But the turrets are there. But you do now see where they were kind of darting around looking for targets. They both on that side go, and they look up at you. What else do you do?
So I'm going to say I also just kind of move out of vantage point so that I'm no longer within eyesight of the turret.
Hover around, the side
hover
of the building.
Maybe towards the direction of the rest of the team on top of that building, so I'm closer to them.
Okay, and honestly, with the way that zones work in the game, with your flight ability, I believe Robot has normal flight, basic flight. So I think he can move 2 zones. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So technically, if you wanted to, you could move really to the end of the warehouse. Now, you would have to move again to get back to the hole where Adam Eve was. So it just depends on, are you wanting to stay here to, on your next turn, go back into the hole and shoot more? Or do you want to rejoin your teammates at this point?
I'll stay just outside the hole so that I can come back next time and still shoot in through the hole.
Okay, perfect. All right. It is now, that is going to be Atom Eve.
So I can do a full action and a quick action, or 2 quick actions, right?
That's right, but you have already used your quick action to put up your barrier earlier.
So I can do one full action, right?
One full action on your turn now, yes.
Okay, so it says I can use a power, which is barrier, blast, flight, matter control, or transformation, right?
That's right.
Okay. I think... So transformation, I can permanently transform any non-living thing. That's what I did to the wall. I transformed it into spoons, right?
Yep.
Since we're having so much trouble with these turrets and they're metal, I think that I would like to transform those turrets, or maybe this entire apparatus, into Legos.
I mean, I've seen some people make some wild stuff with Legos, so it might still fight you. No, I'm just joking. But ultimately, okay. So with that on your power, if you can tell me, it says up to 600 pounds, right?
Yep.
Okay. Or you can push yourself. Does it say how much if you push yourself? Probably doesn't. I'm gonna need to.
It does not. No.
Yeah. Okay. So that I believe it's up to about a ton. I can tell you that the apparatus weighs far more than 1 ton. Okay.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
It's not that Adam Eve couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it on 1 turn. Okay. Like you couldn't turn the whole apparatus into that. But you absolutely could get a turret, and possibly even 2. I'll allow that for now. So you could try, to turn them in that point, because they are unliving. You're absolutely right. It's non-living matter, and the times you've tried to do non-living matter, it just doesn't normally work. You've only been able to do it when you really, really felt like you needed to. But so right now you can't do that. So if that's what you're doing, you do need to be able to kind of see them. So I assume you can, step out into the hole, and then you're gonna, come in here and try to change them, right?
Yeah,
because you do need to be in their zone. So if we're looking at zones, the zone is one of the turrets. I wish we were on a virtual tabletop because I could ping this for you. But one of the turrets is going to be, essentially in that north western quadrant zone. The yellow lines denote the zones inside there. Okay. And then the basically another one, they're positioned on, it's a circle, so it's not a square.
So northeast, presumably. Yes, northeast. I'm in the same zone as that one.
That's right. However, the apparatus itself is a zone also because it's very tall. Okay. So ultimately what you would need to do in order to get there, what I will allow, both of them are on the apparatus. Okay. So I'll even allow you to get in there, but you will have to move in and go to the apparatus to be in that zone in order to try to transform all of these turrets.
Oh, so then I wouldn't be able to do that if I already did a quick action. So I could only move.
That's right.
Oh. Well, then I guess the only thing that I'm going to do right now is just move into an adjacent zone then.
Okay. Do you want to try to be in some form of cover, or are you just going to rely on the barrier that you still have?
I think I'll rely on the barrier. Does it still have 3, or does it only have an armor now of 1?
It basically, once it gets breached, once it gets overcome, it pops, it busts, right?
Okay.
But so far it is still providing you 3.
Okay.
Then this is fun.
I'll keep the barrier on me, and I'll just move into the zone. Now, can I move? I can move into one adjacent zone, right?
Yep.
So can I move into because am I outside of the yellow lines?
Now you can fly, and so since you can fly, you can move. I believe she has a basic flight as well, so you can move. I believe 2 zones, right?
Okay, so then can I move into the zone of the apparatus then?
It seems like it would actually be good to even see, can they find a firing signature, at the middle, like, can they go backwards? Like, you don't know that yet, right? So you could theoretically fly in between the 4 turrets if you wanted to try that, just to see if they could fire, at you from that place, because they might not even be able to. But either way, it would still position you to be able to transform them on your next turn.
So let's move the 2 zones right up above the apparatus then.
Okay.
That's where I am with my barrier still on.
Yep, that's it. So the pink bubble around you, you float into the warehouse, and as you do, some of the bricks that you didn't change before, the bubble is a little bit bigger, and so it kind of crushes those bricks as you go through. You hover up over it, floating right now over the apparatus.
Perfect.
All right, awesome. Now it is back to the concussion turrets.
So it's not new initiative every time, it's this.
Oh yeah. You're absolutely right. You're right. I didn't know that was the end. I didn't know it was the end because there's one other group that is not represented in initiative, and I thought it was their turn, but it's not. So they're not quite here yet. All right. So now new initiative. We redrew initiative right then, and Robot, it is your turn now.
Okay. So
now, just where everybody at home knows this, there are also some talents in the game that allow you to do things like keep your initiative card from the last round, or draw 2 initiative cards and choose the best, right? Like those kind of things are also possible in the game. All right, Robot, your turn.
Okay, so as like a quick action, I'll move back into view so I can kind of see the turrets and the area. Yep. And then I have under my powers, as a full action, you may roll reason to come up with a brilliant plan of action as my action. So I would like to do that because I can roll 9 for reason. Oh goodness, I dropped my dice already. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Let's see what you come up with here.
Rolling 9. I have 2 successes. I have 2 6s out of my
Okay,
9.
so that means on that text there, I don't have it in front of me at the moment, but I believe that you can basically guide someone in some particular ways on your teammates in some particular ways, right? It says,
yeah, it says, as a full action, you may roll reason to come up with a brilliant plan of action. Choose attack, defend, or misdirect. Choose attack, defend, or misdirect. If you succeed, all other heroes on your team who can hear you, even via comms or powers, gain +1 die per YY rolled.
yeah, that's success.
rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically you roll 2 successes. So everyone on the team that can hear you, which is everybody here. It just depends on whether you're saying attack or defend here. Which one do you or misdirect is probably doesn't make a lot of sense here. But attack or defend, what would you like them to do?
I think let's kill these turrets. Let's attack the turrets.
Okay. So that means that so that is your full action and your quick action. Now, as you hover back over the hole, you actually see Adam Eve is hovering above the apparatus now in all her pink bubble glory, floating above that. Her hair, kind of bugging out, everything like floating above that. As you do this, what is the thing that you might say to your team to represent this plan?
Okay, these turrets could really do damage. We almost lost Rex. He barely got out of the way. Let's focus in on the turrets, neutralize them so we can assess the situation.
All right, perfect. All right, so that means all of you, if and when you attack the turrets, are going to get +2 dice to that attack, which is really, really nice. All right, excellent. That is Robot's turn. Just where everybody knows the initiative, since we're not drawing cards, it's Monster Girl. Adam Eve does get to act before the turrets, and then it's the turrets, and then Rex is bringing up the rear. So, Monster Girl, it's your turn.
All right. So when Monster Girl jumped into the room transforming, I assumed I was close enough to make a slugfest. Is that correct?
Well, I didn't interpret it that way, but that's what's great about these games is all you said is I leap into the room. I thought when you said you were in front of them that you meant right in front, but if that's not what you meant, then that's fantastic. Like, absolutely. If you want to be in front of them. Now, I will tell you that with that leap, well, yeah, you can leap 2 zones, right? Yeah. So if you wanted to leap right up on top of the apparatus, you can, but that is where you would need to be.
Oh, I didn't know I needed to be on it. Got it. That was what I was wondering.
The turrets are up high.
Got it. Okay, so I was in front of it where I thought, but I can't.
Now you can be in front, and then again, as you can move into an adjacent zone, right? With your quick action, if you decide to do that, or you can try to, hit the apparatus right now.
Yeah.
I save your quick action.
I should probably. I could take the damage. I'm not too worried about dodging. I think I'm going to do a quick action to move up onto it and do a slugfest.
Okay. All right.
I got to take advantage of this inspiration that Robot has provided me.
Well, he came up with a brilliant plan.
So my slugfest is going to be fighting, which is 7 dice.
+2.
+2 more.
The turret cannot block.
I think I just fell off the other side of it.
I knew it every time. I fucking knew
What is going on, Ryan? Me, you, and Wyatt. Like, we've had really bad rolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and push that. If that's all right.
I'm assuming no successes.
No, nothing. Not one.
Are there any ones?
There are no ones.
Oh, okay, that's kind of good. So
let's see what happens. People doesn't take us seriously, guys. This is why he doesn't take us seriously as the new Guardians. Okay,
that's our first mission.
Would it be wise for me to reroll everything and increase the odds of more ones?
No. Actually, when you push, you have to re-roll everything that isn't a 6 or a 1. So
got it.
There is no like pulling back from that. Yeah.
All right, I jump over it, but I mistimed the jump, and I'm trying again. Let's see if this works.
I just now realized that you did the green light, Ryan. I'm gonna change my lighting to be orange for Robot.
Yay!
Nice, I love it.
Good news, bad news. I got 1 damage as well, or one success and 1.
Okay, so you take 1 point of stress, which reduces your resolve by 1 point. which you already would have reduced your resolve by 1 point because of your
Right.
transformation as well. But you do get the one success, and you notice that as you get up on it and you smash down onto the turret, you definitely connect with it, but it's almost like it just feels like you're hitting something that's too strong. Like you've just, hit, well, I started to say a brick wall, but that shouldn't actually matter to you. It's like you hit a titanium wall, and it just kind of reverberates, and it feels like it's not really, doing much to these turrets. They are well protected. It looks like, again, they can't move, they can't do anything else, but they are, entrenched and pretty well protected.
Robot, maybe this isn't, maybe we need to do like deactivate this somehow. I don't know if it has some sort of additional shielding or power supply, but this isn't working.
And speaking of which, floating above the apparatus here in the pink bubble, I love the lighting is perfect. I've got lighting too, but I have nothing to be. I've got to be too many different things. At that, Adam Eve, it is now your turn.
Okay, so now it's a new turn, so I can do a full action and a quick action.
That's correct.
I think I still want to turn them into Legos. I think it would make everything a lot easier.
Okay.
And that's a full action, and it would be a transformation.
Yes. And I would say at this point in time, the honest truth is we haven't completely finalized the size of these turrets yet, but I am going to say that they're probably not with like all four anyway, if that's what you're trying to do here, are probably not, within 600 pounds. Like, it's probably going to require you to go up a weight category there. Okay.
I can do this.
So that's going to cost you a point of resolve. But if that's what you want to do, it's very important to call out again, transformation is one of these powers. There are a few powers in the game. We know how this works even in the comics. Adam Eve is insanely powerful. From her power on paper is ridiculous, right? But for narrative purposes, this is a thing where the power gives guidance to the GM about the GM being able to determine kind of the limits of its use, right? So this is me, basically, kind of educating and saying that, like, hey, this has already been a fairly deadly encounter. There's been some scares here. There's been some great moments that the group of players is engaging this encounter well. This is a way that we're about to just shortcut the rest of the encounter because they're going to be Legos and not firing at you anymore. But that is okay in these circumstances. And I'm going to say that this is an okay use of this power because at the end of the day in the comics, she absolutely could do something like this. In these kind of circumstances, this is where the GM might say, okay, like, hey, if you're using it in this kind of way, it might be what's called an exploit. It might be using the power in a way that is going to cause you stress, which is what this weight category is kind of doing here. So there's a little bit of a cost here, but you are about to just shut down the rest of this encounter. So describe what happens when you turn these turrets into Legos.
So I have to drop my barrier because I'm using a lot of resolve. I'm using all of my power to try to turn them into Legos. So when I do, they're about to fire right at me, all four of them, because I'm right over them. And lo and behold, they can all aim at me, and they're aiming at me like this. And I do my blast and I turn them into Legos, but they were able to get shots out, but it was just plastic bricks that just bounced right off of me. So just in time.
Absolutely glorious. Yes. And so Robot, where you are hovering there, you see that the turrets have now turned into legally distinct plastic building blocks. And so as this happens, all of the turrets have shut down. And everything inside the warehouse, it looks like now you can see that the light from the computer screens, the monitors, are kind of bouncing. It looks like they have just one of those ridiculous, Pong-like screensavers, that's going on. And everything in there is just brutally quiet for a moment. But then it is at this point that you hear a loud crack and tearing metal from behind you, and the doors to the warehouse where the doors used to be, like the scrolling door, have now been blown apart with some kind of energy weapon. And you see strolling up from outside the warehouse two blue-skinned, very large clones that you know as the Mahler twins. And as they have burst into this place, you're seeing them there. And then one of them just they start talking to each other. It's like, we didn't need this place anymore anyway. We were about to blow it up. And then it's like, well, I don't think it made any difference whether it was an African or European swallow. You would know that if you weren't the clone. And they're just bickering back and forth with each other, almost like they're not even paying any attention to you. And then finally, one of them turns around and says, "Oh, where do all these superheroes even start coming from now? Have they decided that they were going to clone themselves?" And then the other one says, "Honey, we're home." And now we're going to draw initiative again with the Mahler twins, moving right into it. So with that, let's see what our new order is. The Mahlers get to go first. I've got the hot hand here. And so you see that currently the Mahlers appear to be holding two. One of them's in a lab coat. The other one doesn't have a lab coat on, but they are holding giant energy rifles that look like they have way too many buttons, on them. And you have no idea what these weapons do. Robot, you happen to remember that you think you saw the schematic to one of these weapons, and you do know that these weapons have a debilitating ray that can zap your energy instead of just your health. You know that it has just a massive, very powerful blast setting, which obviously is the thing that just blew up the door here. You know that it also can it can make it to where you're stunned and you can't act. So like paralyzing ray on this as well. So lots of different things that they could potentially do with those weapons. They are very, very deadly, and they charge forward. And at the moment, they have not been paying attention to Robot floating up over there, but they do see Adam Eve, well positioned above that. And then one of them just says, "Oh, Lego, no, don't say that. Don't say that. We don't have the rights to it." And then he comes up and tries to fire at you. Do you want to do anything before this attack?
Would this be an what's that thing called?
Interrupt action.
Interrupt action. So what are the interrupt actions that I can do? I can create a barrier. I can
dodge.
Okay.
Because this is a shooting attack. The things that you can do at this point would be dodge or create a barrier.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with the winning what works here and just create a barrier, because I don't. Okay. If I dodge, do I move out of the zone?
No. It just means that you sidestep or side fly. The bolt, if that's what they decide to do to you. Yes, but they are attacking you in some way for sure.
Okay, I think I'm gonna put up a barrier again.
Okay, all right. And so with this, they have. Okay, that's not too bad. You might live through this. Let's see.
I need 3 or less.
Yeah. So they get 4 successes on that. And so you see that they level this giant rifle at you and says, "Oh, look, the pink one." And then fires off, and it almost like the recoil almost knocks them back. And you know that that's a lot because they're pretty stout. And so as that happens, that is going that hits you. So it did 1 success above your barrier, so the barrier busts. So that's down now. But that damage means that they deal their base damage with the weapon. In this case, the blast power. And so this blast power is going to deal 5 health damage to you. So 5 health damage. And
Wow.
how much health do you have left?
I have 6 total,
Okay,
so I would have
so-
1 left.
You have
Ooh.
1 health left. So Adam Eve is in dire straits, danger, at the moment. But as you're doing that, and again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I feel like, as it clips you, you kind of like land on top of the apparatus. You kind of lose your concentration a little bit.
Can I catch her?
I
Well,
was going to ask if there's an interrupt action for someone else's turn.
Well, it depends on what that is. If you can always, pitch something, and then we can talk about it. But at the moment, she's not in danger of falling to the ground.
Okay.
She's just going to fall on, she's going to land on the apparatus standing, but not feeling great at this point in time. The other one is going to, because correct me if I'm wrong, but Monster Girl is atop the apparatus as
I'm
well.
also up there. Yep.
Yes. All right. So the other one is going to also fire at Monster Girl. Do you want to try to dodge this?
Oh man, I wasn't going to, so I could save my attack, like to be able to use it later to move. And I am also a bit stronger, so seeing what it did to Adam Eve, I think I could take it.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like overconfidence. No, I'm just joking. So with that, what is your? There were 2 successes here, but your protection is higher than that, right?
I have armor 4 against all attacks.
Yeah. All right. And so the blast hits you square in the chest, and you shrug it off with your monstrous abilities. No problems with that one. All right. And then other than that, the Maulers move into the warehouse. So they move, both of them. So again, they came through the big doors at the south. So they move, one of them moves into the right southeastern zone. The other one moves into the southwestern zone, but they are right up at the apparatus now. Theoretically, from Monster Girl, you'd have to, move down to get them there.
Yeah.
Rex, you're not going to be able to really see them without moving from where you currently are. All right. And it is, let's see, Rex, your turn.
All right, I'm going to move in. Right.
Okay.
So
which side are you moving into? You moving into northwestern or northeastern zone there? You can see one of them at a time, if depending on which one you go to.
I'll go northeastern.
Okay, got it. So you can see the one that's in the southeastern zone there. You do, as you come in, you see that there are some crates on the side here, wooden crates. You see that there's some tool chests. You see a variety of things that you might expect in a laboratory in an abandoned warehouse.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm going to. So I have to roll in order to get over there, right? In order to move zones.
No.
No?
You can do that as a quick action. Yeah. You can move into an adjacent zone as a quick action. Yes.
And he has the gun, right?
Both of them have guns.
Both of them have guns. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do you have like a charge ability, TJ? Like, can you charge their guns or like get up right next to them? I don't know.
I was thinking that I would pick a Lego up off the ground and charge it, and then throw it into the barrel of the gun.
I love it.
Okay.
And then make a quip like "Blue Skidoo, we can too."
Oh no. I might have to allow it because it's just ridiculous. So yeah, if you want to try to do that now, typically trying to do something that specific to land it inside the barrel again, that's really, really tough stuff. And that would be, probably multiple stunts you would need. Now, that's not to say you couldn't roll that, right?
Okay.
And then also typically your blast power is a range shooting ability. But yes, we all know that Rex can charge things like skeletons. Oh, sorry, too soon, TJ. But basically, it can happen. And so that we would talk through exactly how that could work too. But yeah, you can try that.
So the major blast, you can perform a shooting attack with base damage 4, range of 0-4. What does 0-4 mean?
0-4 means that is the minimum number of zones that are needed. So some ranged weapons, like, so for instance, somebody grabbed a bazooka it would have a range of 6 maybe or something, and that 1 means that you can't fire within your same zone because you can't get it off right. Like it's too unwieldy to do that. But with blast, you can do people just right up next to you if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. So can I do major blast? You can perform.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's
absolutely. So that's going to be an agility test there.
Okay.
Roll agility. And you have not acted since
I got my 2 die
action planned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
That's one of the reasons that I wanted the Maulers to roll right in after this, where y'all can still enjoy that benefit. I'm such a
I
nice
did think maybe I should save my action plan for once the Maulers got there, but we were struggling against those turrets.
Yeah, those turrets are tough. Yeah.
I rolled 4 6s.
Nice.
Out of
Very
9.
good. All right. So, yep. Go ahead. What were you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. What I was going to say is that does get past their protection, because they're pretty physically tough, right? It gets past their protection, and you'll have 1 extra success there if you wanted to try to use a stunt. You could also push to try to get even more stunts to do something, but obviously there's risk involved.
So I have 1 additional 6 that I can do a shooting stunt.
Yes, you can. So what you can do there, this is important, is your base damage on that, I believe, is 4. You said it was a major blast, right? So it's
base damage is 4. Yep.
Yeah, so 4. So if you use that 1 extra stunt to do it, you deal the base damage again. So that's 8.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. So with that, and were you just attacking them or their guns specifically?
Does it have blowback? Like their gun, to answer honestly. I wanted to explode the gun but could it explode in their face?
That's a great question, and something that I would have allowed another. Basically, that can be the other 4 damage that you just did, right? So it does absolutely hit the gun, and the gun explodes, and because you got that extra success, it deals that damage. Now, again, they do have protection, but that does end up hurting that Mauler on the right, the bottom right here, and what is this? This little insignificant creature has struck me, and he's filled with rage. Looks like he is ready to come after you the next time he acts. And anything else, Rex? I think that's all your actions. Anything else?
I did the major blast, and then the shooting stunt. So that's both of them, right?
You moved.
Oh, and I moved.
and then
that's right.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So I'm done.
All right, and then so it's Monster Girl's turn, then Robots on deck, and then it will be Adam Eve.
Okay. Monster Girl is going to move into their zone to be within close range, and then threaten
So the
them.
one that Rex has attacked, or the one on the bottom left?
Did Rex do any actual damage to that one?
Yes.
4.
Ooh, so I wonder if we should actually take that one out, or should I
do we know their health?
Should I go to the other one? I
wonder if
I
don't know. You don't know their health.
Yeah,
I will narrate.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
We see that it did some damage.
Yeah.
The one I attacked
blew up in his face, and he's like, and it looks like his face is charred at this point. So.
The one I attacked, Ryan. The one I attacked is now unarmed.
Yeah, but being the defender, I should probably go after the one that is armed. So I'm going to get in that one's face. I'm going to get in the face of the one that has the gun. I'm going to threaten them and say, we're not all little and insignificant, which is a menacing, which gives me +2 to strength.
Oh, yes.
So then I can do my full action of a slugfest.
Okay. Yep. That's exactly right. So you can go ahead and if you're going to attack now, are you charging or are you striking and attacking here? Because if you charge with Monster Girl, you can use your strength for the attack as opposed to your fighting.
Well, right. So menacing would be for a strength roll, which I'm gonna charge because I'm charging in anyway. So I like that.
Okay.
So would charge, but charge wouldn't. Oh, charge would do damage, but charge doesn't get the slugfest stunts.
It does. Well, you would basically possibly be trying to slam them into the wall to do additional damage.
Yeah.
Or you can attack and simply do that. Now, I will say that where the line that you would have to take to get here, you do see that there are some metal crates in your path here, and at the end of the day, you have no idea what might be in those.
So you're saying I'm running through them, charging through those crates to get there?
If you hit the mauler and continue to want to push them into the wall, then yes, you'd run through the crates. Now, if all you're doing is running up and just shoulder checking the mauler or something, you can stay there and just stop there. Or you can attack with your, fighting abilities and fist. Really, the advantage to charging is if you're in tight quarters where you think that the environment can help you do damage, you can absolutely charge and push them through walls and things.
Got it.
Or if you want to use strength instead of your fighting, you can do that.
So I think I would want to use fighting then. Go for slugfest. Strength would have been cool with the menacing thing, but I see what you're saying. So I'm just going to move into their space, still trash talk, and then just go ahead and do a slugfest.
Okay. All right.
Which is 7. That does not include my hard hitter talent then?
Yeah, because you had to move, that took up your quick action.
Oh, so a talent is a quick action?
Well, in that case, like that talent says for hard hitter, that you can give up your quick action to do 2 extra.
Mm-hmm.
+2 dice to fighting rules.
Let me see.
You're good.
Have we changed something there?
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that would be. I was going to say, what? Then it's just innate, always a 9 for fighting.
Yeah, because that doesn't sound right. So it sounds like something's up there. So let me look at your character sheet real quick.
You're good.
All right, player characters. This is Amanda Monster Girl, and yeah. So this is what it says. At least. Are you looking on the one that looks Comic Sans, or are you looking at the one that is? Yeah, okay, you're looking there. Okay, yeah. So the problem there is that is not complete. So if you look at if you look up at the one that has her picture on it, at least in the PDF there, and no, this is good because
you're right. It does
absolutely clarify that on the more handwritten sheet there. But yeah. You can get plus
that was a
2
shorthand
dice to
version.
fighting if you sacrifice your quick action.
Okay, I'm going back to it. We're charging. If I take some damage, let's see what happens. I have full health right now. We're doing it because I need the extra dice with that menacing threat. So I'm charging forward, and I'm getting right up in their face for a.
So you roll using strength instead of fighting, and a charge cannot be blocked. But they could dodge it if they decide to. But right now, they're feeling like they want to test you, and they're not going to try to dodge this.
And didn't they already attack us? So would they be able to dodge?
That is true. Technically, they might still have a quick action because they have an ability that allows them to do that, but they're still not deciding to do that.
Yeah,
because they're possibly underestimating you. So basically. If you hit with this, the only allowed stunts are extra damage, so you can still do the extra damage, but also you can do the slam stunt. So let's see how this goes.
Okay, so I'm rolling for strength. Do I get the +2 to strength for the threat?
Yes.
3, 7, 8. That's 10.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's 4 success.
Oh, nice. Okay, excellent. So that means in this case, again, you bypass the protection, easily there. Okay, and you've really walloped here at this stage. Okay, so basically, it's a success. It's going to deal what is your base damage with Monster Girl in Slugfest?
Base Slugfest damage is 4.
Okay, so 4. So you're going to deal the 4 damage, but then you can do the stunts to do 4 more. So technically, at this point in time, you could do up to 12 if that's what you're deciding to do.
You should do that. You should do that. You should do that. We don't know what their health is.
Because the 1 gets through it, and then there's 3 more 6s, and each one of those.
No. Actually, and as I'm thinking this through, I might have thought about this the wrong way, even with Rex. So we'll come back to that in just a second. But the armor doesn't come into play until the damage, right? Okay. So how many successes did you have earlier, Rex? 4?
I had 4. Yep.
Yes. So technically, you could have done your base damage on your blast was how much?
My base damage. 4.
Yeah, 4. So you actually could have done 12 there also. All right. So we're going to allow that to happen. The Mauler is still standing, by the way, so it doesn't change anything. So it's the same thing here for you. You can do up to up to 12 there. Because you can do the 3 stunts. No, sorry, I'm doing math. Bad math. Y'all got to help me here. What is so it's 12 plus 4, which is 16, right? Is that correct math? Yeah, because
16 total. You mean
16 total? Yes.
Yeah.
16 total.
How do you get past whatever? Like so, right now, if I rolled 1, that's a success.
That's a success, and it hits them, and you deal 4 damage.
Okay, I thought there was armor.
So
the stunts are for any success you get after the first one.
After the first one, yes.
Right.
And so the thing that I just wasn't even thinking of earlier, for whatever reason, I was thinking he was saying that he did 4 damage, but he didn't. He had 4 successes. Yeah. And that was the part that I
You're right.
Was
so
blanking.
3 times 4 is 12, plus the original 4, which would be 16.
That's it. Yes.
So
we do math here. I do math good.
So mine was correct the first time?
No.
That was also wrong.
You're because I said you did 8 damage and you would have done 16 damage as well.
Oh, okay.
Now you would have done 16 damage before armor.
It did 16 to the gun too.
Yeah. That was it.
And then the gun exploded.
Yeah.
But I said that it exploded onto the Mauler. So
yeah.
So I have got that tracked for the Mauler. I'm going to let it do a little more extra damage to the Mauler there because the gun exploded. But then in this case against this Mauler, if you want, because again you just charged, all you can do is try to slam or do the extra damage. I recommend extra damage probably. So you're going to do 16 damage, but then that 16 damage is then their armor reduces that by just a flat amount for what their armor is.
Got it.
So I'm going to, give you a peek behind the curtain there. And, their armor is just 3. Okay. So they have 3 armor. So that means that you're about to do 13 points of damage to one of these Maulers' health. Okay. So you describe how you charge and or how you move in and attack this Mauler.
Can I?
And this is the one you're attacking. You're attacking the one that has the gun still, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I run past Eve, who's laying there struggling to get up, and barrel through some boxes into one of the Maulers, and knocking him to the ground. And I'm gonna say I actually did do 1 slam, so I'm only going to do the 12 initial damage and do a slam because I'm just going to slam into him as part of my attack.
Okay.
So the 12.
Yeah. So if you have remaining movement, which
I didn't. I could do.
You would.
Was my movement? I could do that as a leap. It goes 2 zones.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to do that. Like you can use that as
but I used the charge though.
Well, but no, leap can be used as part of a charge.
Okay. Can we do that? Can I leap from across the?
So if you want to use slam for one of those, then you can spend the extra success to push your opponent before you and keep moving in the same direction until the move ends. So you're about to hit a barrier of the wall there.
Yeah.
And then they're going to suffer additional damage equal to the barrier's armor rating or the base slugfest damage, whichever is lower. So in this case, they're actually going to be the same. so it's going to do your base slugfest damage. So the key here is that you have, the main thing is you have moved them and exposed them and slammed them up against the wall. But it is still going to do that 16 points of damage there.
Right.
But they are in a weaker strategic position now that you've done the slam. Okay. So the Mauler, crumples into the wall as you're standing there, and then the Mauler just kind of lets out a hey, I didn't know you were taking this seriously, and looks like it's definitely hurt. It's wincing a bit. All right. Anything else? Those are all your actions.
I'm done.
All right. And so this is now Robot.
Okay. And I'm still up above. I can see everybody right through the hole.
Yes.
Okay. And we have the one.
I mean, you have to, just to be clear, like within the zone of where your elevated zone here, you do have to kind of, go. You can't see the whole building from where you are, but you can move around enough to see it.
And we have the one Mauler that's gun exploded, the TJ, or that Rex blew up and then the other Mauler that's been shoved into the wall by Monster Girl, who still has one of the guns, right?
Yep.
So can I know that one of my quick actions is scan an area for details. Can I scan like the gun to try and learn more about like a weak spot of the gun possibly? Or is that just scanning the area maybe just for
the detection power, I think, is what you're referring to. The detection power allows you to automatically essentially detect energy signatures. So this can be just, infrared energy, or it can be, even magical energy or something. Like you detect a frequency is off or like whatever else.
Mode.
So it doesn't quite. Yeah, that's a good thing. But it doesn't quite do that. I will say that earlier, when you found some of the schematics for their weaponry, you do know that there is basically a self-destruct switch that they can hit on the gun, but other than that, it doesn't look like there are any spots that are weaker than others. Whatever Rex just did was effective because he just blowed it up. Right.
Got it.
But there is a self-destruct that has to be carefully, basically turned on if the Mauler ever wanted to, try to use it as an explosive device.
Got it. I feel like I'm gonna just do a shooting attack at the Mauler that just got shoved into the wall. We just did a lot of damage. I'm hoping to maybe finish that one off. So shooting attack.
Let's see it. The Mauler's not even aware of you, so it doesn't try to dodge or anything. Yeah, it's going to be agility.
4 for Robot, right?
All right, let's do it.
I have 1 success.
Okay, so you hit. What's the base damage for your blast? 3?
Where is my blast? Blast is damage of 3.
All right, so you see that the blast connects, but you do see that it looks like their skin stops most of the blast. But the Mauler definitely, you see a little flash of panic, because it's like, okay, hey, maybe we're outnumbered here. Maybe this isn't gonna end well for us. And you do see a flash of panic there because they didn't even know you were there before. So anything else, Robot?
Because I could still do like a quick action, right?
Yes.
I feel like no. I feel like I'm in like a good position where I can support everybody. I don't want to like rush in and get stuck anywhere. So I think I just stay where I'm at. Or I guess could I scan for a quick action? Could I scan the area for just more details to look for more advantages?
Typically, that's
quick actions.
Typically that's going to take a full action to like really get a lot of the details, unless you have something, an ability there that specifically says it's a quick action. But yeah, you can definitely just kind of stay, aware of what's going on and in this place, because it is a strategically good spot. Adam Eve, your turn.
Okay, so
this is the end of the round.
We've done a lot of damage to the one in the southwest corner, right? The one that's up against the wall. The one in the southeast is disarmed, but still has more health, right?
We're assuming, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good assumption. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my matter control and use it as a shooting attack, which gives me 2 extra dice to roll.
Yeah. So you're about to do a fun one here. This is a really cool mechanic that we're introducing.
Yeah, so
I have to say I love this part. Yeah.
So my matter control. So it's my base attack is 3, and it's a shooting thing, which is shooting attack is agility. My agility is 6 plus the 2, so that means that I get to roll 8 die.
Yeah, but what this is also going to do is this is going to wreck the zone.
Yeah, so I was going to ask what that is.
Yeah, so wrecking a zone is basically what we love about these superhero fights. There are lots of zones that get wrecked when Omni-Man and Invincible are fighting, right? So basically, it's this idea that you're about to grab those tool chests, those crates, whatever it is, you're about to float those up and just slam them down, on the mauler in this case.
Yeah.
That's gonna, basically you're using improvised weapons from the environment, whatever, to do this. But that is gonna wreck the zone, which means that once a zone is wrecked, you can't wreck it again. So basically, you can't necessarily go in there and, if you're on a street, this is an easier example. If you're on a street and you wreck a zone and you grab a street lamp and swing it at somebody, somebody can't really do that again after that. It's like each zone is, wrecked just the one time. But there are consequences, because as we know from Snyder haters and fans and everything, doing insane amounts of property damage and not worrying about people in buildings and all that is a hot point with comic fans, right? And so like the idea here is that if you're wrecking zones, you may end up with bad karma from that as we start tallying experience at the end of a session. Right now, in this case, it's not going to have much of a consequence, because this building probably should have been demolished anyway. But if you're doing this in the middle of the park, it might have more consequences. But the idea is you're basically using the environment to make your attack more effective, but then it is going to wreck the zone.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm turning all of those boxes, crates, there's a few boxes and crates that are in the area, into tungsten. And that is what I'm going to absolutely whip at this guy, because this is the guy who shot me and hurt me, and I'm pretty mad at him. So I'm going to roll 8,
very true.
8 die
Let's
right
do
now to just absolutely demolish this zone.
Does it affect anybody else that's in the zone?
No, it won't. He's got enough control over it. It just means that you can't, if it is an area effect attack, which this one isn't, it can, but yeah, in this case, it just means that the zone is wrecked and it's bad.
Yeah.
So the positive reason to do this is I get 2 extra die to roll, which I needed because I got 2 6s, so I have 2 successes. And my base damage is 3, so that would be 6 total.
6, yes. So you're gonna you turn it into tungsten, and you slam it down. The mauler kind of like moves out of the way of some of it, but some of it absolutely connects.
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt you, Adam.
All good.
But as an extra shooting stunt, instead of doing extra damage, I could do a bonus attack.
Yeah.
Where I roll another 6 die, right?
You could, yes. You could blast.
Instead of 2 6s, you'd have 1 6 and then roll again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I will, however, say that your base damage is 3. So that is their protection score.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you did
more.
what you just described, then even if you hit with both attacks, neither one of them would do any damage. Whereas the way that you currently have it,
I understand. You
hit
have
a
to
single attack.
beat it because otherwise
Yes.
his armor comes back at the end of this round.
Well, they just always have that armor because it's
It
just their
resists
skin.
3.
It's
Yeah.
their dense muscle tissue in this case, or whatever.
So in
right?
theory, I do this. His armor is gone now, and now we're just doing
No.
No?
For the protection power, it's like Superman or Invincible, our buddy here, where it's like he's just tough and like he's gonna always have that armor score.
You have to hit him with a force.
So the
your
damage is
barrier-
always -3, no matter
Yes.
what.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
for this character. Now, there are ways. So, for instance, the Maulers themselves have a talent that is called Find Weakness, that where with a Slugfest attack, they can ignore armor for one of their attacks.
Mm.
Okay. So, like, there are ways around it. But yes, in general, the Maulers are just tough. So they have the baseline level of protection, which is 3. Now, Bulletproof, for instance, has a 4 protection. I think Monster Girl has 4, right?
Yep.
Major protection. I just statted out Battle Beast, and we're going to see Battle Beast in a Kickstarter update soon. Battle Beast has a lot. Okay, so it's like that kind of stuff, right? So,
Bill, you're hitting the one that has the gun still, right? And so couldn't you?
No, his gun's gone. His gun's
okay.
gone.
He's hitting the one that I attacked.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say
I could have disarmed him. So I'm taking a major chance by saying I'm going to do another bonus attack and try to get more 6s or no 6s.
But it's not cumulative.
This is a sure 3 damage that you're about to do here.
The other one is start from scratch and hope you get more than 3.
Yeah.
Who knows me? Am I impulsive? But it's Eve impulsive.
Who is Eve?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, I'll leave it as it is. I hope I only have 1 health, so I could be screwed here. But that's fine.
You definitely, definitely hurt this Mauler, and I've got to do a little bit of math because what did we? This is the one that does not have a gun. So definitely this Mauler. You have drawn blood at this point in time.
Okay,
and the Mauler, squints through, all the tungsten that it just got assaulted with, and says, "Why, you little?" And it's like it looks like it's about to come after you.
Bill, do you still have your quick action? You might want to hold on to that.
Yeah,
I do. Oh wait, but I didn't use my resolve. So could I have rolled 2 extra dice from when Robot did that? Or not resolve. Remember how?
Yeah, you never used that, so you could. Why don't you go ahead and roll those, and let's see if we get any more successes.
The 2 extra dice?
Yeah, the 2 extra. Let's do it.
I didn't.
Okay, but at least we feel like that loop is closed, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next we're at the top of another round, and so we are back in Rex. You get to act first, and Adam Eve, you're on deck.
All right, so we still have. So both Maulers are still like active, right? But one of them is bleeding.
Of course we are. We're way more powerful than you are.
Okay. So
at least I am, because I'm the original.
I mean, I guess he'll do.
You gotta think quicker on your feet than this, Rex.
He'll do.
Adam Eve is.
Eve's like, I'm dying over here.
Yeah, you're like on the ground, half dead. I'll try shooting attack.
Hey, Rex is it's kind of in the name, and it's very effective. So that is a good.
You took out one of the big guns. That was.
And honestly, if you're not going to move this time, you could attack twice if you wanted to try.
Yeah,
because you have your two. Yeah. You're rolling fewer dice, but you're attacking twice.
Yeah. So up to you. What are you trying?
I'll do a shooting attack to start.
Okay. This Mauler is feeling a little nervous and is going to try to dodge.
Oh, that's right.
So, because you're attacking the one that doesn't have the gun, right?
Yeah. So if I did Major Blast, that would be 4 damage, right?
4 damage if you're successful, yes.
Okay. So I'll do the Major Blast.
And that's because they're in the same zone?
Well, no. Major Blast, you can do that up to, I believe, 4 zones. So up to 4 zones. From the same zone to up to 4 zones away. Major Blast is basically just your primary weapon that you're using, right? And you're just flavoring it that you're grabbing and charging things, golf balls or boomsticks or Legos or legally distinct blocks, and all of those kind of things. But yeah, so ultimately you can kind of flavor that however you want to, but even if you want to sacrifice your quick action here, you can do that, rapid shot where you remove 2 dice, and if you hit with both of them, then you would do the base damage of 4 with both.
Oh, let's do that.
Okay.
So I'm removing 2 dice. So I'm rolling with 5.
Remove 2 dice, from both attacks here. Yeah.
So I'm rolling with 5. So I'm doing 5 and then 5.
Yep.
Okay.
And they rolled 5 to try to dodge you here. But they can only dodge 1 attack. They have 1 interrupt.
I rolled 1 6.
Okay. Well, they rolled no 6s. So they did not effectively dodge this first attack. So you do your base damage. So that's 4. Okay. So their armor is 3. So that means that it explodes. He's damaged again. 1 point of damage there. And now roll that second attack.
1.
1 success.
Okay. 1 success.
Yeah. So he cannot dodge again. And so it does another point of damage. It pokes through their protections. And let me do a little bit of math here. So that is.
Can I do a boost? Can I do a boost, or is that another action?
No, you can do. Well, it depends on the boost. Which one are you wanting to use there? Overwhelming.
So I had a question about what the burst is. So when using your blast, you can take 1 point of stress to give the attack area effect.
That means that every target in the zone gets the damage done to them,
including Eve.
Including Eve at this point. So probably not that one.
She was talking shit before, so I don't know.
Could I dodge it, or would I just take the automatic damage?
Well, if you had an interrupt action, you could try to dodge it. Yes. Or throw up a barrier or whatever. Yeah.
So
not a good idea, Rex.
So my overwhelming blast is when you hit with a blast.
Yeah.
You can take up to 3 points of stress to increase the inflicted damage by that amount, by the same amount. So I would take 3 hits of stress and then hit him for a total of 7 instead of 4.
That is correct. That is correct. Yes.
So I was going to ask about that too. So I marked down that I have 1 stress because I got that in my first turn. So I currently have 1 stress. I don't see stress on my board at all.
It is stress reduces from the resolve score.
Yeah.
So your resolve score should be near your health.
Or a 7.
Yeah. So you definitely have, what would that be? 6 left. So you could take up to 3. And I'm going to go ahead, since we're kind of getting close to the end here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you took all 3, something special might happen.
Let's do it.
All right. So ultimately, all right. So then you do this overwhelming. So basically that's going to look like, as you're getting ready with that boomstick, you kiss it or, whatever, make it a little special, charge it just a little bit longer. I
turn around and I blow Eve a kiss and then I throw it.
Perfect. And so, you spend that additional resolve. It is a really overwhelming, large blast. Larger than it has been, and the Mauler yells out and basically eventually just crumples and does a face plant on the ground. Don't know if he's dead, but definitely he is knocked out cold at this point in time. And then it is at this point that you hear the other one say, "It's fine. I could just make another one." Obviously that's going to happen to the clone. But it's definitely starting to sweat things over on that side as well. All right, so Rex, that is it for you, and it is Atom Eve's turn.
Well, I can't wreck the zone again, so I don't have that power that I can use.
You can move to now. The other one is in the other zone with Monster Girl, and you can wreck that other zone. You can wreck this whole place if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, it moved to a different zone.
No. The
other
one that
bubble.
you were attacking just went down.
Yeah.
Oh, the bottom,
You wrecked the one that
south.
you wrecked the one that Rex disarmed earlier.
Oh, well
but
then,
Monster Girl just
fuck it.
jammed
Let's. I'm mad. My eyes are glowing pink. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna hover around just a little bit around the apparatus where you get a good view of the other one. You're gonna try to wreck this zone.
Yeah, we're gonna just.
All right.
What
What are you doing this time?
Place.
Yeah. What are you doing this time?
So this time, I'm. What's heavier than tungsten?
A dinosaur.
How about sharper?
I can't. I was gonna say a dinosaur, TJ, but that's a living thing.
It is living. You can do a Lego dinosaur.
Lego dinosaur made of tungsten Legos.
Tungsten Duplo blocks.
And one spoon.
The house of ideas. I love it. Yeah.
One spoon got caught up. I'm throwing it all. I'm throwing that and the kitchen sink, and it's a literal kitchen sink as well.
All right. So let's do it. This one, new round. This one is going to attempt to, get out of the way of this as well. So.
Okay. Rolling 8 die.
Okay.
Oh, so that is 1, 2, 3 6s. So
did not successfully dodge at all. Rolled very badly there. So yes, that definitely gets through.
So that would be he gets 6 damage then, right? Because my first one breaks his armor.
Well, okay. So what's your base damage? 3.
3.
Yeah. So basically, you're doing how many successes? 3 total.
3 total.
Yeah. So you would do 9 damage. So yes, that is 6 damage. And then this is the question. Describe how you take the Mauler out here.
So the Mauler gets hit with all these building blocks that are non-proprietary and made of tungsten, and he looks like he's in slow motion getting hit with a machine gun over and over and over again. And then the last thing is the literal kitchen sink that just knocks him right in the forehead, and then he goes down like a ton of Lego bricks made of tungsten, and just hits the ground. Knocked out.
Basically, as that happens, just before he loses consciousness, it's almost like he's starting to lose touch with reality just a little bit, and he's just like, "Oh, it's not the end of the world. As long as Thursdays are still chicken pot pie day." And just slams onto the ground. It does look like they might still be breathing, that they're alive, but they are certainly knocked out. At this point, and we are out of the round now. What is everybody doing? Remember the purpose of why you're here. You're trying to find out what they were up to.
Can I?
I'm gonna keep an eye on them to make sure they stay down. Yeah. Rex, maybe you should go look over at that sciencey stuff.
Well, yeah, I meant
robot. Sorry,
I was going to say.
I was about to say, like, what are we doing here?
I mean, future comic spoilers.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
That's been a hard habit to break.
I'm gonna go over to where the computer screens are. So I want to move over there and then try to do. Am I doing like full actions, quick actions? Because I know it's
no. We're just describing what we're doing at this point. We're out.
I just want to go
of the
over
action scene here
and try to essentially hack into their computer.
As you walk over that way, you actually do see in the top right corner, the northeastern corner, there is some kind of glass, looks like holding cell here.
Mm-hmm.
and you barely make out, now that the all the noise has quietened down, that someone is beating on that glass, and it looks like there are figures inside this glass that you can barely make out in the dim light.
Mm.
I guess I'm going to go over there since I'm most concerned about saving the citizens and probably turn that glass into.
Are we sure those are
Steam.
Yeah.
citizens?
Wait. I'm gonna go over there first and light a glow stick to see who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and all you see inside there is you do see that there are there's some kind of holding cell, and inside that it looks like there are 4 people that have lab coats that they've it looks like they've gotten hot in here, and they've taken the lab coats off and like tied them around their waist, and some of them are using them to lay down in there. Looks like they've been in there a while, but they definitely are human, and they are knocking on the glass, and you can't quite make out what they're saying, but if you read their lips a little bit, it might be like, help, get me out of here, something along those lines.
So bear with me here, since we can't hear them and this is a glass tube, but we don't know what kind of threat they are. I'm going to turn this glass box into a normal, metal barred kind of cage so we can communicate.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can communicate with these people to make sure that they're not a threat, viral or whatever it is.
So it's a fairly large thing, but you can definitely do this to the front, the front of the
window.
thing.
We just need a way to communicate with them. So drill holes
easily
into
do
whatever
that. And then basically, just as soon as that starts to happen, they kind of, back up, surprised for a moment as the pink energy, makes this transition. But then they say, oh, you can hear us now. Oh, thank heavens. Let us out of this place. Those insane blue idiots locked us up in here.
Rex, do you want to maybe question them and find out what's been going on? Did they have any experiments done on them? Like what the issue is? I'm kind of nervous here. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, I'm apprehensive. Did you also mean robot, or did you mean Rex?
Did I say Rex? Dude, I was looking right at you. I meant robot.
I figured. That's okay.
Man, y'all are throwing out so many spoilers.
I know that you took a lot of hits to the head there with the different, nondescript blocks that were flying around.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up to them and ask, how long have you been in here? Why did the Maulers put you here? How did you end up here?
We've been here all day. My name is Dr. Philomena Harris. I was the lead on this project. We were forced to work with the Maulers on this project that we've been working on here. But as soon as they got done and the goods were delivered, they put us up in here, and I'm fairly certain that they intended to blow up this entire place and make sure that the evidence was hidden, us included.
Okay. I think we can let them out, but let them know that we need to keep them around for the GDA to question.
Make an intuition check, robot.
I can do that.
An intuition test. So just roll your intuition score.
So I have 6 for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 success.
Okay. So you definitely know that the doctor is telling the truth about working on the project and the Maulers putting them in the cell. You get a little bit, you feel a little suspicious about them being unwilling participants.
Okay.
And then I come in and I whisper in Robot's ear, "Good cop, bad cop." And then I start lighting boomsticks and throwing them at their feet and say, "We want answers."
All right. So make a presence test. So roll presence, and I'm going to give you 1 extra die on this because of your literal fireworks that you're doing here. So,
Okay, so
roll
7?
that and see. Yep.
While he's doing this, Robot also says, maybe next time if we're going to intimidate them, we use the literal monster on the team to scare them.
3 6s.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
So we've got some stunts and everything else. If you're open to it, I'll go ahead and give you the whole shebang here. As far as your stunts go. So basically, Dr. Harris and the other three that are in there, they're jumping, they're dancing, they're, what are you, absolute imbecile, you crazy, like shouting profanities, everything. And then finally, Dr. Harris says, okay, we were hired by Machine Head, and we have been working with the Maulers to clone some kaijus. And we are done. We are done with the experiment now. The kaijus are gone. They're now. I don't even know where Machine Head took them, but we're done. The Maulers were trying to kill us, but we don't want to die. You've taken them out. That's great. Great job with that. But just let us go. Nobody has to know anything else about what's happening here. We don't want to work for Machine Head anyway.
So I think right now this is above our pay grade. I think that I should just put him in a barrier, and we'll fly him back to the GDA and let Cecil do what he does best, and just deal with these people, and then he can let us know what he wants us to do about these kaijus or anything else.
I agree, Eve.
All right. So at this point, we'll do some fast forwarding here, but again, this is the first act of a 3-act adventure that would probably be played over 2 or 3 nights, with a group, your group of friends. But with this, you get the doctors, the scientists out of this holding cell. You transport them to the hovercraft. You do have to call the hovercraft because it kind of completely got the hell out of Dodge, like right at the beginning, but you summon it through the earpiece. They come back, they get you. You likewise, I assume, probably want, the GDA pilot comes back and it's like, hey, I can't really handle this, but can we, capture the Maulers here, and we'll bring them with us. We'll make sure that they, get into custody somewhere as well. So all of you have successfully taken down the Mauler twins and rescued or captured these scientists, whatever's happening there. And at this point, you hear something, crackle in all of your ears as Cecil comes onto the earpiece and says, so that's what they were up to, huh? I wonder if we're ever going to be able to keep them locked up. I'm going to see that Stronghold's entire staff is replaced. Just sit tight while we check on our intel on Machine Head. We're going to need to look into this field test of his that we're already hearing from the scientists, them talking about a field test. We don't know what it means, but we're going to find out. Like I said before, I don't have a lot of options with all the heroes we have out of commission. Take the chance to rest and recover for a bit, and I'll get back with the next steps soon. All right. And so with that, you can board the hovercraft. You can get ready to go. What would ordinarily happen in the game, I'm going to just kind of talk through this part because I know that we want to make sure that Bill said he had only until midnight, and it's probably about midnight. No, but
it is close. It's getting close.
But I am hungry also. And so I'm going to talk about social scenes just briefly. So all of you probably got your social scene cards, that if you were playing through this typically, I would be handing each of you the card that corresponds with your character. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what would happen here is during this event, some of you got hurt pretty badly, Adam Eve. And so with this, you're going to want to recover health and any lost resolve and everything else. And so the flow of the game is typically, action scene, social scene, action scene, social scene. And it goes along that path. Sometimes you might have a couple of action scenes sandwiched together, which actually makes that resource management more difficult, right? Because it just means you can't recover in between, right? And so that can happen occasionally, but typically you're going to have an action scene and then a social scene. And so for these social scenes, this is where, as you're in this downtime now, as the downtime is going on, then each of you would take those cards, and there are a couple of options on that card that you can decide, hey, I want to do this scene, or I want to choose the second scene that is on here. And social scenes are something that the player always gets to decide what you want to do. And the whole idea behind this is to just flesh out your character more. So if this is a custom character you've created, this is probably going to be with one of the key relationships, which is an actual thing in the game that you create along with your character. So if you're a vigilante, this might be hard-nosed police commissioner, or something like that is a key relationship of yours. And so you might say, hey, after this fight, I want to go in and check in with Commissioner Jimbo. We won't say Gordon. I want to check in with the commissioner to see what he's learned while we've been doing this. And so you would play out just a brief social scene for each player and each character, with someone. A lot of times it's great for these to happen within the group. So for instance, on Rex's social scene,
I was about to say,
go ahead and read the one that you would have wanted to do there on your.
Well, I was kind of building, like the whole thing was like trying to impress Eve and like trying to get close with Eve to get time with her. So Rex's is the one I would have picked is: you plead with Adam Eve to meet you on the bridge outside of Guardian's headquarters, where you attempt to deliver an impromptu speech to her, hoping to mend your relationship and get out of the doghouse.
Yeah. And so that is an example of one of the social scene prompts that the game will give. And what's really incredible about what we're doing here is the 7th chapter of the core book is all about how to run like a long-term campaign, for not just a quick little jaunt like we did tonight, but this long-term campaign. And one of the things that I wrote up, I think it's 30 something different story arcs that are classic things like, Lost in Paradise. It's recurring villain. So, Doc Seismic and that kind of thing. Cool. And so we literally give an outline of potential events for the game master to be able to spring on the characters as you're going along for very classic type story arcs, and that kind of thing. And the idea is you have many of these going in parallel, just like in the comics. And so you might have recurring villain going on, and Doc Seismic keeps showing up along the way, but you might have other things where you're battling other dimensional selves at some point, or whatever. So all of these really classic things, all of those have social scene inspirational hooks for you to like give you ideas. And again, the player can always, if something had come up during play here that where you wanted to interact with one of the other characters, one of the players here for your social scene, you absolutely could have done that. If you had another idea that you wanted to pursue, you could do that. But we also want to, just like it, this is fascinating to me, and I love seeing this stuff. But TJ, when we first started, I, kind of intentionally put you on the spot, and you were a little bit like, oh man, I suck at this. Like, I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing here. But then by the end of this, you're coming up with some really cool shit. Okay. Like, I mean, seriously, like, and
I feel like we all kind of intentionally tried to do something different. We were trying to use all of our powers. We weren't just going in and attacking. Okay, I'll just attack.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like that slowed us down a little bit more because we were trying to figure it out and test our limits.
Absolutely. And honestly, again, as we talked about in the other segment, if you are joining us for that, go listen to this segment in the podcast. But ultimately, just like we talked about there are going to be times where it's not about efficiency. It's not about necessarily about power gaming or that can be fun. Absolutely. It can be fun to just, completely face splat some noobs and some minions and all that. And that will happen in this game. But at the end of the day, it's about, having fun together and telling a story. And I really think that all of you now, obviously you're all very big fans. You get the characters really well. I think that you really inhabited the characters really, really well. And, as you went, even though, again, I put you on the spot at the start and there was just this quick moment of like I don't know, but then like that literally melted away like the next time it was your turn in the spotlight, right? And so I think that that's the thing that's fascinating about these games is that, like, playing out those social scenes, especially with the tension between Rex and Adam Eve at this point, Monster Girl and
Robot.
we keep calling him Rex, but let's go Robot for the moment. All that tension, there's just so much of that going on.
I felt a real pressure to make sure that we were an effective team, because I know
Yes.
that's what Robot is supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't want to be blessed out by Cecil,
I just wanted to make
performance reviews are coming, and the last one wasn't great, so.
Right.
I just wanted to make my dad proud. That's all I was thinking about.
Please don't be thinking about Adam Wilkins. But yeah, I think again, this was just one little thing in this big 3-act thing. Like, who knows what's going on with these kaiju clones? I'll tell you a little bit behind the scenes, because it is in the quick start, and everybody has access to that. It doesn't really spoil much, but Machine Head apparently recovered some kaiju DNA from, and this is how it's cool how it ties into the world, the kaiju that Omni-Man fought when Mark found out what was going on when he was battling with Immortal. That kaiju, Machine Head, apparently had some scientists out gathering DNA at the scene of this, and is now trying to clone his own little kaiju army that he can do nefarious things with. So the adventure's called Metro Mayhem. There's some tangling with Machine Head. There's a lot of for a starter set intro adventure, very classic feel. It should feel like Invincible. You're going to tangle with the Maulers. You're going to Machine Head, Titan, and some of those great characters. And then, there's a big monster, battle involved. So I think lots of classic tropes that you can touch on there.
I think too, it would be, we would have had an easier time had we had the board with the, because
there was some
right. So like to know what zone we're in, what zone,
or having it virtually,
the Maulers are and stuff like that. So
yeah, the way that we played today is basically called Theater of the Mind, and the most effective games typically use that occasionally, especially when it's very straightforward. If you're on the streets and you just have some mooks come up that are attacking you, you can probably play that out without worrying about the positioning too much. But yeah, when you're playing the starter set, there are going to be standees that you can use. You can use miniatures. There are a variety of tools that you can do, but there are these awesome looking maps that Brian Patterson has done for the game that kind of they're flat maps, but they have a little bit of a pseudo ISO metric, kind of look to them. So you can't really see much of it there, but that's the city, downtown area that you get to have with the maps and those standees. So you're absolutely right. That helps you keep track of which zone you're in. And even if you're playing without a published map like that, even just having it on a piece of paper while you're playing together, or on a virtual tabletop, being able to just kind of, plot that out is definitely very helpful.
Well, Adam, I don't know how we could have done this without you.
We couldn't have. We absolutely wouldn't have.
This was so much fun, and you did such a great job taking us through this. That was really fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I love introducing people to these kinds of games, and I think that's one of the most interesting things to me is that it is almost like a little like an oral tradition to some degree. That it's like I've always heard it said that it's like, if you were going to learn how to play baseball, I'm a baseball fan. Go Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. But basically with baseball, if you were going to play baseball, there is no way that I could give you the rule book to baseball and you could just play. Like,
have you ever seen Blast from the Past?
Is that a movie? I haven't seen it. No.
Brendan Fraser is in this bunker with his dad, Christopher Walken, and his dad is trying to. They're in a bunker, and his son was born in this bunker, and Christopher Walken, his dad, is trying to teach him the rules of baseball, and he's like, "Why does he run to first?" And he's like, "Because you must." And then he grows up and he watches a baseball game, and Brendan Fraser's like, "Oh." Because
Beautiful.
He must, and he watches it. So that was
that's exactly. Yeah. I'm literally going to go watch that movie now because I'm way too interested now. But that's the thing is, if you've ever read a baseball rule book, there is no way you go from that to actually playing that game. So if you're going to learn to play baseball, you go to a game and you watch people play baseball, right? And so this is a hobby that, in a lot of ways, you need to be pulled into it to some degree. You need to watch others play, or you need to have someone that knows what they're doing take you through it to some degree. And so that is one of the biggest obstacles for people coming into the hobby. But that's the thing, is that once they get there, it's got a lot of stickiness, and there are a lot of people that want to do it again. And I'm not going to put you all on the spot, but I think you're all going to want to do it again. You're probably going to be asking me to run Alien for you at some point.
I was just about to say, same time next week, right?
Yeah. That's it. So I will be happy to come back. But yeah, it really is a lot of fun. And again, for something that we all love as much as we do, this Invincible universe, this game is going to be really something else. Like I said before, especially if you're creating your own characters and you're having this sprawling 144 issue campaign where you're going through all these trials, tribulations, and growth and everything else, just like Mark did, and Eve did, and all these great characters. You can do that with a character you're creating, and the game is going to provide and facilitate for that.
Wow. Well, again, thank you so much, man. And if anybody's watching this at this point, please let us know, write in the Invincible Podcast at gmail.com or leave comments. Let us know if you want us to do more of this, if you're excited to see more. Hopefully you got to listen to the full interview with Adam on one of our previous episodes of the podcast, and stay tuned for more from us for all things Invincible. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.